Good morning from my kitchen cabinet and welcome to a vlog. This is mid-month book bash, December, and I thought I would, sorry, my books were off screen. I thought I would talk to you about what books I'm reading and the fact that it is December 9th and I have yet to complete a book in December. Before we start that, I am steeping my tea that I showed you in the first clip. That is from my tea advent calendar that I was gifted from my husband, and I am obviously behind because we were away the first 2 days of December. And so, yeah, I'm just doing a tea a day, and I'm not going to worry about, I'm just going to enjoy it until it ends, whenever that might be. And so this morning's tea is, I showed you the packet, and the flavor is breakfast in bed. That sounds good. It says, a delightfully fruity blend mixed with roasted coffee beans, sweet pineapple pieces, and delicate rosehip. It tastes just like eating pancakes while snuggled up beneath your softest quilt. Okay, and this is made by Rainy Day Teas, I believe is the name of the company. Sorry, I cut the package open and I've saved what's left. Yeah, Rainy Day Tea Company. So that's what I'll be drinking this morning while I get going with work, because I don't get to snuggle in bed this morning. It is a work day. But before I do that, and while my tea is steeping, let's talk about what I'm reading. I am currently reading An Immense World by Yong. I had wanted to get to this in November, for Nonfiction November. Didn't get to it. I am into it now. I am about 150 pages into it, and I love it. Yong is the best science writer. He's so good. He takes complex information and breaks it down in a way that's very understandable. In this book, he's talking about senses that animals have that humans may or may not have, but that every living creature basically has their own, he calls it an umwelt, but it is their sensory experience that they have of the world, how they experience the world through their senses, their umwelt. And he goes through each sensory experience, so sight, hearing, smell, feel, like touch, different ones. And the last chapter I just read, finished last night, was about pain and how animals do or do not experience pain. And that is really, really interesting. And the current chapter I'm on is about temperature, how different animals experience temperature and how that is like or unlike humans. Excellent. He writes with a lot of humor. Very fun. So I'm really enjoying that. I am buddy reading with a group of lovely women, Glory by NoViolet Bulawayo. I read her book, We Need New Names, and really enjoyed it. This one is allegory of the Zimbabwean Civil War, I believe, or basically the Zimbabwe government. And it's told from the perspective of animals. So we are doing this buddy read, and I am doing this as an audio text combination. I'm only about 90 pages into it, and we are very much enjoying it. So I'm buddy reading this with Dee Dee from Brown Girl Reading, Karen from Run Right Reads, Patrice Jones, buddy reader extraordinaire, and Doris from Aldi Books. So yeah, very fun buddy read there. On my audiobook, I am listening to Factory Girls by Michelle Gallen. This is her second book. Her first book was Big Girl, Small Town, which I read and loved earlier in the year. And so I'm buddy reading this with Sean the Book Maniac. And about 2/3 of the way through that one, about a young Irish girl who is just finished high school and is waiting for her exam results to see if she will be able to go to college. And during that summer, she takes a job at a factory. The year is 1994. And so the peace process is happening in Ireland. But of course, she lives in an area that's very much a part of the struggle between Protestants and Catholics, and how that's impacted her life is discussed. It's very humorous, it's very raunchy, very much in the manner of her first book, Big Girl, Small Town. It's very sex positive. I love it so much. I love our main character is Maeve. She is narrating the story. She's so sassy and so realistic for an 18-year-old young woman who's like trying to figure out her life. I find her to be extremely, extremely relatable. So enjoying that. Also, I'm working my way through the Best American Science and Nature Writing from 2021. This was edited and put together by Yong, but it's like 25 different articles and essays written about a variety of topics by different authors. And the whole first section are articles and papers that were related to COVID. And so it's been slow going because I can only read so much of that at one time. And then I get, it upsets me or makes me crazy or upset in several ways. And so I have to put it down. But the rest of the book is about other topics. So I've kind of been flipping around and reading stuff out of order, just so that, I don't get too enraged. And then last but not least, I have picked up my first mystery for Cloak and Dagger Christmas, and this is a Mumbai murder mystery by Meeti Shroff-Shah, which is a book that was gifted to me from Kim at Middle of the Book March for my birthday. And this is a contemporary mystery that takes place in Mumbai. A young woman returns home to Mumbai after a failed marriage type of a deal. She's a writer, and she has just gotten home, and a murder occurs. And so I've only read the first 2 chapters, so the murder has just happened, and I guess the rest of this book will be her trying to figure out what's going on. So yeah, that's my first mystery for Cloak and Dagger Christmas. So it's going to be a busy weekend. I don't know how much reading I will actually get to do, but my goal is to complete a book, because I have yet to complete a book in the month of December, and that feels really wrong to me. So that is my goal, to complete one book. So let's see how I do. Good morning. It's 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. It's 22 degrees out. And I'm headed to go Christmas shopping with my mom and my daughter. So not much reading has been happening yet in this mid-month book bash vlog. I think I only read 1 chapter of An Immense World yesterday. And I read a little bit more of an ebook on my phone while I was waiting my turn to get my hair cut at the beautician's. So yeah, I don't know, it's that time of the year, I guess, where not much gets done. Also obsessed with World Cup, so watched World Cup last night. Obviously, they played them during the day, and then I watch them. I don't look at the results, and then I watch them at night when they replay them, which is fun, but also takes up a lot of time, so I don't get any reading done. So yeah, Christmas shopping today. Don't know how much reading I'm going to get done. None while I'm Christmas shopping, but depends on what time I get home tonight. So let's see what we get up to. Saturday night, and I finally conquered my reading dry spell with this great murder mystery. So this is a Mumbai murder mystery by Meeti Shroff-Shah, and this is the first book that I've read for Cloak and Dagger Christmas, and it's also the first book I've finished in the month of December, here on December 10th. This is a really fun mystery. It is the story of a young woman who returns from living in New York City to her family's home in Mumbai, and she is running away from a failed relationship and also writer's block because she's a writer by profession. And she just has arrived back in Mumbai, and she's from like a very upper class, wealthy background. And so she goes to visit her best friend who lives in Mumbai and finds her hysterical because they've just discovered that the best friend's father has been murdered. And so our main character, who is Roddy, starts to question whether or not this man who appears to have committed suicide would have really committed suicide. And she starts to track down clues and question people and just delve into all the shenanigans that the people who live in this wealthy community have been getting up to. And I just loved the setting and it's always fun to read about, what rich people are getting up to. And this book was very much fun in that regard. Also, there's lots of red herrings and lots of, people with questionable motives. There's some servants who, seem to be acting quite strangely, and maybe they were involved, and the other members of the family all are hiding things, keeping secrets from one another. Just really fun. A really fun main character, a really fun setting, and a really fun mystery. And I sat down tonight. I'd only read the first 2 chapters when I sat down with this book tonight, and I just read the whole thing straight through. So if you're looking for a quick, fun mystery with a setting that is a little bit different than what a lot of mysteries have, this is current day Mumbai. I would very much recommend this book. And thank you to Kim at Middle of the Book March for gifting me this book for my birthday. It was really a treat to read this. Very excited to have had this book be my first read for December. So I just wanted to check in and announce that I have finally finished a book. And like I said, it is Saturday night, and unfortunately I didn't take much footage of our Christmas shopping trip today, but we did have a lovely day of shopping, and tomorrow we're planning to go cut down a Christmas tree, so I will hopefully remember to take some video footage of that so that I can share it with you. Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 13th. So I am just here to finish the vlog and the mid-month book bash vlog and to report that I did read some more in An Immense World, although I didn't finish it. I am now on page 250. So I did quite a bit of reading in this over the last couple of days. Really enjoying it. I love how Ed Yong has organized the book. So sorry for the glare. See if I can get, there we go. So this is organized, as I said before, this is about the senses and the ways in which different living creatures other than humans experience the world. And it's just absolutely fascinating. And each chapter is organized around a different way that some living animals, some living species experience the world. So there is a section on, for example, the section I read last night was about how whales sing and how they use vocalizations that we didn't even know existed until like World War II or something. And that, in fact, the large whales, the blue whales, fin whales, the largest whales in the world, can actually make vocalizations that can be heard over 1,500 miles away from where they are. So that some scientists believe that they're actually utilizing these vocalizations to somehow know their world, which is the entire oceans of the whole world. So that they are using these sounds that they're making, which are not sounds that we can hear with just our ears. We need special equipment to hear them. It's just fascinating, and how that technology was created so that we could listen to whales, and the big sort of discovery of this in the 70s and how it spawned, actual music albums that people bought and listened to. And yeah, just fascinating. That's just one example. So every chapter has multiple examples of critters that use really fascinating technology. The section on owls and how owls use sound to hunt, and that basically that their whole face is a satellite dish for them to receive sounds. Just fascinating to me. And the way that Ed Yong organizes the information and describes it is just so engaging and humorous and really immersive. And I have spent so much time reading chunks of this book out to my husband because it's just incredible. It's just incredible. The different parts of the body that different species have, for example, ears. Ears on your knees, ears on your feet, ears on your abdomen, like just ears everywhere. Eyes the same way. Just fascinating, fascinating stuff. So highly recommend. Like I said, I probably have a little over 100 pages left to go in this one, but I already know this is going to be one of my top books of the year. It's fantastic. So that is pretty much it. I did start another book that I hadn't included on my TBR on Friday, and that was See What I Have Done by Sarah Schmidt. This is my second book for Cloak and Dagger Christmas and is my current buddy read with Britta Bowler. I read the first 2 chapters of that yesterday afternoon, and that's very interesting. I mean, everybody knows the Lizzie Borden little rhyme that we all used to sing about Lizzie Borden taking the axe and giving people whacks with it. And this is a fictionalized story of what really happened in the Lizzie Borden household. And so the chapters are told from different points of view, from different characters. So the first chapter is from Lizzie's perspective. The second chapter is from her sister's perspective. And then I will start the third chapter, and that one I think is from the maid's perspective, or it might be from the stepmother's perspective. I can't remember, but it's a third perspective. So that's really fun for a mystery novel to have multiple perspectives. So we'll see how that one goes. Anyway, this is the end of the mid-month book bash. It was successful in that I finally completed a book for the month of December, but didn't get a whole lot of reading done just because, it is Christmas. And I apologize if the tree is shaking in the background, because that's Libby playing with the Christmas tree. If you're a cat owner, you know. I'll talk to you all later.